Clear prop.
Tower 738 Yankee number 2 following twin traffic, 3 mile final, clear left to 1 Charlie Bravo, makes straight in runway 25, join 4 mile final.
This is Behind the Prop with United Flight Systems owner and licensed pilot Bobby Doss and his co-host, Major Airline Captain and Designated Pilot Examiner Wally Mulhearn. Now let's go Behind the Prop.
What's up, Wally?
Hey, Bobby, how are you?
I am fantastic as always. If you are a pilot or anywhere into aviation whatsoever, you know that this week is the week of Oshkosh, and we are going to call this show the Oshkosh Dispatch. Welcome to AirVenture, and we're going to share some exciting stuff, and you're not going to get to see me this year. Unfortunately, I can't be there in person, but Wally's going to be on the grounds later this week, and we're going to bring you the best of AirVenture from behind the prop. This is our official show kicking off Oshkosh, and again, some pretty cool stuff happening. While this is going to be a really short show, I want to tell you, if you've never been to Oshkosh, last year was my first time, and it's amazing. And I still find it shocking that my daughter's been there many more times than me. I think this is my daughter's third Oshkosh and probably 40th airshow. It's mind-blowing. More about that in a minute, but must-see things, just the gargantuanness of it for me. Like, it was so big and so huge. One of my favorite memories from last year, this is going to sound crazy, but was when the blimps were flying in formation and doing some aerobatic type stuff. Like, it was crazy. They were seesawing around each other. I didn't know blimps could even do this type of stuff, but that was pretty interesting to see. My wife and I had a good time. What are you thinking about from last year, and what are you and your wife looking forward to this year?
Well, here's a funny story about our Oshkosh adventure last year. I was in a convenience store and I started talking to another customer, and we as pilots, we refer to this event as Oshkosh. You just say to someone, "Are you going to Oshkosh this year?" "No, but I went last year." Going to Oshkosh. Well, Oshkosh is the name of the town. Okay, the event is, as you earlier said, is actually EAA, Experimental Aircraft Association, AirVenture. And so I'm talking to this guy, and I don't know how we struck up the conversation. And I said to him, I said, "Well, have you ever been to Oshkosh?" And he looked at me like I was an idiot. And he says, "Well, I live in Oshkosh." And I go, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, you're not a pilot." And I said, I said, "Have you ever been to AirVenture?" And he said, "No, I haven't." And I said, "Well, I believe one day this week, EAA gives free admission to all the locals." So, and I forgot which day it is, but anyway, I was trying to get him to go to EAA AirVenture. So it's just kind of funny how we call it Oshkosh, and but that's just the name of the town. But if you're a pilot, you know what everybody's talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. My daughter worked in tech briefly, and now she still works for a tech company at ForeFlight. But when my daughter started calling it Osh, I knew she had been completely indoctrinated in the aviation lingo, because most of us don't even say Oshkosh. We just call it Osh. And when you call it Osh, you know what people are talking about as well.
Yeah,
And if you
yeah.
haven't heard of my daughter, then you've never listened to the show. But she got married. She'll be working the ForeFlight booth. Her name is now Emily Montz. So go by and say hi and tell her her dad said hi on the podcast, and check out all the cool things ForeFlight's doing. I kind of got inside scoop. They're making some announcements this week. So go by there and check it out. Now, Wally, you're flying from Houston, Texas to the state of Wisconsin, but not the big airport in Oshkosh. Tell us about
Yeah.
your plans and what you did to get ready to go.
Yeah, well, we're going into Madison, Wisconsin. Last year, I just have no desire to fly into actual Oshkosh. Now, maybe next year I will have that desire. Um, I don't have any idea what's involved in going and flying into Oshkosh. I know flying into Fond du Lac, you had to get a special reservation with the FAA to go there. You couldn't just pop up and say, "Hey, we're 10 miles out inbound for landing with Charlie." You had to have a special reservation. And the plan was to go back into Fond du Lac again this year. The FBO was great. They had car rental agencies right there. But when I went to reserve a car several weeks ago, we could not get a car in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. So we found a car in Madison, Wisconsin. So we're gonna fly into Madison tomorrow. We'll make one fuel stop on the way up there. We got a couple places penciled in to make fuel stop. It's just kind of how our bladder is and how we feel about needing to eat. But we're packing a lunch this year. Last year we relied on maybe through cars and restaurants, and on the way up we found that didn't really work. So we ended up eating a bag of potato chips and a Coke out of a vending machine. So we're gonna pack our lunch and have it in the airplane and stop. I like to go a little bit over halfway, so it's probably close to 5 hours of flying to get up there. So, I would say 2:45, 2:15 would be the perfect way to do it. I think just psychologically, when you land at your fuel stop and you're more than halfway, it just feels a lot better knowing that you still got 60% of the way to go. But anyway, should have good weather up there. And again, we'll take the Saratoga. I'll get up to, 11,000 feet, 12,000 feet where it's nice and cool. Unfortunately, we're going to have a little bit of a headwind up there, just about 2, 3, 4 knots, at least by today's forecast. But yeah, we're looking forward to the flight. It's always fun to fly the Saratoga on something like that, because that's kind of what that airplane is designed for, getting in and cruising somewhere.
Yep. I still have yet to be able to experience that, Wally. I'm just going to hold you accountable to that a little bit. But
okay, well,
this ain't your first time.
it.
You did it last year, and
Yeah.
it's got to be the system that helps, right? You're not the only person going. Probably not the only person going from Houston tomorrow. Actually, I know other people from Houston going tomorrow, so there'll be a flight of many from the south heading that direction. One thing we're doing this week to kind of kick off Oshkosh is we're going to start a little bit of video. I think because Wally's up there, you might see a cameo from him at some point online, but we're going to release a 1-minute short. We're going to call these Oshkosh Shorts. I made these things as hard as I can to pronounce, but we're going to have Oshkosh Shorts this week. 1-minute things that Wally and I believe are some of these most important things that pilots need to understand and be able to quickly think through. So we're going to just 1-minute quick tips. You're going to love them. I think you're going to love them. So if you don't follow us on social media, follow all our social channels, and we will post those shorts throughout the week. And hopefully you have a great, fun time at Oshkosh. If you can't go, you got to feel like me. I'm a little disappointed I can't go. For all of you going up there, safe travels, read your NOTAMs, be prepared to do what ATC tells you to do and work well within the system. As always, have fun at Oshkosh and stay behind the prop.
Thanks for checking out the Behind the Prop podcast. Be sure to click subscribe and check us out online at behindtheprop.com. Behind the Prop is recorded in Houston, Texas. Creator and host is Bobby Doss. Co-host is Wally Mulhearn. The show is for entertainment purposes only and is not meant to replace actual flight instruction. Thanks for listening, and remember, fly safe.